Following his footsteps, on July 5, 1995, Floyd Sweet suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 83. A couple of weeks before his death, Sweet said that the automotive industry was testing his power unit for use in cars, and that they had a unit running for 5,000 hours. He said he was dealing with people at General Motors, but no one has been able to confirm Sweet's claims. The VTA itself is bogged down in legal problems. But Tom Bearden, who put much of his own time and money into the project, hopes that the VTA can be resurrected so that the world will realize what a pioneer Floyd Sweet was. And despite the confusion surrounding Sweet's affairs at the time of his death, other researchers are continuing this line of research. Confusion and secrecy. The automotive industry may not have been the only potential investor that Sweet was dealing with. At the time of his death, there was some confusion concerning the rights to Sweet's hardware and papers, held by Sweet's second wife, Violet. Bearden says that Sweet signed a number of agreements with a number of backers, and that some of these people have claimed rights to the invention. At least two of these investors say they want Sweet's laboratory equipment, inventions, and technical papers to go into A.P. Roco's Floyd Sweet Museum so that other researchers could study the technology. Walter Rosenthal is trying to help all parties work towards an agreement. Despite Bearden's urging, Sweet never had the VTA certified by independent testing. He feared that his life would be snuffed out immediately if he even attempted such a thing, Bearden says.
Well, there she is. The VTA coils are wound. Hello, YouTube. How is everybody doing today? It's Thursday the 15th right now. Hope everybody's doing well. I had a couple people that requested that I showed a video on the process of winding the VTA generator coil, so I'd like to share that with everyone. So here's the finished product right here. It is made with acrylic. This back here. Get it at a plastic store. I think Ace also sells it in Home Depot. This is 1/4 inch thick. Cut it with a chop saw, and make sure it's a fine tooth blade. Otherwise, it could make the edges real rough. But if you get a nice blade, it'll make nice cuts. And I like the way this stuff is glued together. I actually use a solvent. That when you put the solvent in the seam, it actually fuses and welds the two pieces together. So there's no actual glue. It just melts these two together, and it sets up in like 30 seconds. So it's really nice to work with. Here's some 26 gauge wire. You can find this on Amazon or eBay. I think this was about $60 or $80 or so. You're going to need 2,000 turns on the exciter coils on the outside, 250 turns on the inside of 28 gauge. This is outside of 2,000 is 26 gauge. And here's the schematic. Let's take a look at that too. If you download this off the internet, they're giving away a free coffee stain. This comes standard on every copy of this for free. Pretty nice from Floyd Sweet. And let's see, this kind of goes over the layout. Now, the things you'll notice about this right away that are unique are these are bifilar wound coils, which they don't normally use in generators. And these two coils on the bottom are feedback coils, FB. The EX2s, these are exciter coils. And the BIF in the middle, those are bifilar. So 240 turns bifilar in the middle. And then on the outside of that, you're going to put the feedback winds, and there's 48 winds. If you divide 240 by 48, you come up with 5 rows. So you're going to wind 48, 48, 48, 48 5 times, and then put 48 winds on the outside of 28 gauge for a feedback coil. And the wiring layout is all right here. I found it easy to label them and then connect them at the end. And I was going to put this all to some, like a breadboard or maybe some termination blocks, so that you can experiment with the different arrangements as well. let's see. Yeah, so the bobbins are made out of acrylic, and I used 1/8 inch on the flanges so that it was a little bit thinner, so I can get this in closer, and it would sit tighter on here. And this was really hard to find. Barium ferrite magnets. Everybody has been searching for these. I have looked for 2 years before I found these, and I actually happened to have, I had to buy a bunch of them to get these. But I do have them. I put some extra ones up on eBay that I have. If anybody is looking for them, just go to eBay, search for barium ferrite, and these will pull up. They'll be the only ones out there, I guarantee it. Very hard to find. And I found a unique way off of disc 15 from Tom Bearden's Energy from the Vacuum series. If anybody has seen that, from Walter Rosenthal. He showed a really clever way of checking to see if his magnets were barium ferrite. And you turn on your ohm meter, put it to ohms to check your resistance or impedance, and barium ferrite, when you look at it, will register as non-conductive, so there's going to be 0 ohms. If we move this to a non-barium magnet, this is strontium, look at that, you get a reading right away. If you go to this magnet right here, let's see, same thing, you get a reading. So all these magnets will give a reading of different resistance except for the barium ferrite. And Floyd Sweet said the barium ferrite is the only magnet that will work in the VTA. So anybody trying to replicate the VTA will need these magnets. Strontium, he said, will not work. They may work for other things, but not in the VTA. And here's a magnetizing coil setup that had some help making all this stuff from a gentleman named Mike that was a genius with all this stuff. So thanks, Mike, if you're out there. Hello. So I kind of copied his coil design too. Got an A, B, and C coils, and this is designed so that, see if I can do this with one hand here. This goes right in there, and then this setup goes, whoa. It's easier to do with 2 hands, trust me. Come on, get in there. There you go. Okay, so that goes in there, and then the whole setup fits in like that. So you have 3 different windings, one that goes this way, one that goes this way, and one that goes that way. And these 2 coils right here are carrying a frequency of different potentials on it, and this C coil carries your magnetizing current from the capacitor bank. So go back here and hit charge on the charging circuit, and you find which frequencies you want to test. And right now I've been trying to experiment with harmonics, so I'll go to channel 1A here, and 103.3 was the frequency I was using. And then if I go to channel B, I can just click harmonic, and I can hit the 3rd harmonic up, and it'll automatically input the frequency for me. That comes down to this power amplifier, and I'll only turn the gain down on that first. Then once the magnetizing coil is charged up, usually get it to about 1,000 volts. Sweet was using around 450, I believe, or 480. This is I'm using 1,000, so I don't know. We'll see what works. So just trying throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. You know, we're going to test a bunch of different frequencies and different voltages and see what the results are. And let's see. Here's a magnet that you put through the. I put through the coil setup like that with the frequencies, and here's the result. You end up getting this bubble looking thing in the middle. and when you put another magnet next to this bubble moves around very easily. The other unique thing about this that was mentioned by Walt Rosenthal in the same disc 15 was that the polarities would be flipped on all of Floyd Sweet's magnets, and he didn't know the significance of that. But when it's magnetized with the setup we just saw, it does the exact same thing. So this will be, let's get this guy here. So you're going to see a different, so right now it's reading north all around the edge. Now if we go to the middle, it's going to be south. So this is a south magnet, but the edges are all flipped. They're all changed to north now. So here's one of the unopened box. I have 10 more of these barium ferrite magnets. They're all brand new in the box still. So let's see where we're at on the charging setup. We're at about a little around 500 volts or so. That should do it enough. Let's give it a whirl. Get our frequencies set. Disengage the charging unit. Fire up the amp. You can hear the coil start humming. You can hear those or not, but the coils will start humming with the harmonics, and hit the fire, hit the trigger, and there she blows. Turn the amp off so we don't waste any of our precious energy we're trying to create here, and that will end up giving a pattern like that. So, and then we take it out. I'll take that out later and hook it up to the oscilloscope here, put the probe on the end of it and see if there's anything unusual, and then maybe give it a test on the generator here. So the magnets, he said, were to go in attraction mode. So in one of the documents that I did see, they were facing in repulsion mode. They were in, so there was a comment that was just an error, but something to try, something to look at anyway. So I'll go over the windings one more time real quick. These are 240 winds, 5 layers of number 20 gauge bifilar, 2000 on the exciter, 48 of number 28 gauge for the feedback coils, and 250 winds of 28 gauge in the middle, and 26 gauge for the 2000. So if anybody has any questions or comments on how to build them, if they need help or they want me to email, I can email them the schematics. They're pretty easy to find on the internet though. And also if anybody's looking for the barium ferrite magnets, just hop on over to YouTube. eBay. We're on YouTube. Go over to eBay, and I have a few of them left that you can grab. So take care. Hope everybody's having a great time, and more people working on the VTA. The quicker we can get, we can get a working one out there, that would be a miracle. That would be what the world needs right now. All right, take care.
And finally, we have a gift for you that is tricks to reduce your electricity bill by at least 75%. And the way to complete energy independence, get rid of the monopoly of big energy. You will never have to pay for electricity. Method, amplify electricity to make output power greater than input power. See link in description. Thanks for watching.